Hi everyone. I hope all is well with you. This is Coins Kid. Going back to XRP one more time. Thanks for your help. We got the Coins Key cruise. The market is jumping up and down saying that the bottom of this downturn has been reached, but I don't think there is enough evidence to support that. I think what we've seen was a rash move. We are now in the middle of a corrective move, and I think we are about to enter the last month of this corrective move. That's when everything should be set up for the upside. I'm taking a look at a few of the charts as a convergence. One is that the S&P 500 is a support band for a bull market that I made for you. And of course, there's another coin that I check on every day with the Coin Keeper. A chain link is one of the things I post a lot of times in the Discord for this project. Right now, the chain link looks like it's made a pretty cup handle shape on the macro, and we ran up to the collar. We're going back through some kind of tunnel, which is obviously the handle. If we can get rid of the resistance, everything is set. I'll keep an eye on the chain link chart for you, because I think we're in some kind of zigzag adjustment for chain link right now. Go back to a God candle backtest by clicking on the link. We are still in the channel if that's the case. We still have one more drop to go, and I think it's a final flush out of about 24%. Also, that's pretty much the level of trust I'm looking for in other charts. Yes, you are right. XRP is going to drop a little more. We're about to do a gold candle backtest. You already know that we bought and sold one on XRP a few weeks ago. I think it will come up as I told you. I believe it was at 217, and then there will be a rollover. Beautiful little short chance, swing chance, or whatever you want to call it. It has come down. It's been lovely. So I believe we are doing the same thing right now. When I look at confidence across the board, I see it going through the roof. Now, I'm not sure that we've entered a big, broad bear market. I don't think the tops are in. But I think it's clear that what goes up must come down, and we're just going back over the five-way move we made for XRP. So I'm always trying to figure out what your shorts and longs are. Well, we found that cute little short for XRP a few weeks ago. If you've been paying attention, you know that a few days ago I found a micro-long opportunity. Wasn't necessarily a macro long that would make you all your life savings, but it was a small chance nonetheless, because we have the data points I created for you. As I said on Twitter, it's not often that we see that combination on our index liquidity dance. Negative BTC below 30, to dominance above 70, micro fear and greed in the fear zone. And if you look at the market zones, you'll see that the warning zone is 24%. And the buy zone is 39%. That is, this is literally backwards. It was the other way around a few days ago. That's a very strong warning shot. And that's what I kept telling you. You're buying it wrong, that's what I mean. If you buy big green lights, you'll get big red dildos. Things are going to go wrong for you. A lot of people didn't want to hear that. As I said in 5 minutes, I expect Ethereum to take a break when it hits support at the previous all-time high. Indeed, it has done that. Okay, so I think it would be a great chance for the Coins Kick crew if it could hold damage, support, and one more little shakeout. Then all of a sudden the structure breaks down, if we can keep the amounts of support. So I've made changes to a sign I made for you guys called the bull market support. That listing can also be found on coinskid.com. I'll show you that and explain why I believe we should pay attention to this particular chart. I believe it has set the stage for a big move in XRP in the future. Let's get closer. Okay, taking a look at the BMS on coins.com right now. Back in the beginning of the year, I made the BMS area for the Coins crew. It's simply your support for the bull market. So you have your BMS index, and I've also added the bull market support band to that. It's all the same information. Your bull market support band, what I do on the index, and the indicator that you have in your TradeView charts gives you a clue about whether the chart is bullish or bearish. This is true for the S&P 500 as well. If you look at a chart like a DSY or something else, it will tell you whether the macro trend is bullish or bearish, and you should pay attention to that trend. Okay, so what we need to see, and I'll remind you today in the video, is the DXY in a macro bearish trend and the tether dominance in a bearish trend. That's just a trend, since you're basically dealing against that trend with those currencies. In a bull market or an uptrend, they're a safe place to put your money, and that sign is literally telling you that. Right now, All I want to do is show you those two important things that we look at every single day in a macro bear market. I'll do that through charts. In other words, there's a greater chance that your coin is in a global bull market. But it's clear that not every coin will be in a bull market. You know, every coin goes up and down in cycles, with smaller highs and drops. Also, some things don't work the same way they did before. Don't forget that. To see one reason for this, let's look at XRP on a weekly scale. It's doing what a lot of other coins are doing this cycle. They're going to make this lower high to the all-time high, and then roll as a possible outcome. So we're seeing some weakness in other blue chips because they're doing the same thing that XRP did in the last cycle, which was to go up and then down. No way! It's going to zero, it found support, and it's stuck in this loop. That means they might be the chances in the next run. Keep an eye on the channel, because we found all the chances in XRP against the blood fear. We wrote all of this down and did a great job. We wrote about sadness, the 5-wave dance, and other things. But as I told you, I think this trend will stop at some point, and when it does, I'll be done. Okay? I want to buy back at a cheaper price, and I don't think XRP is always the best pick for the next cycle. Some coins that have done the same thing as Ethereum but haven't reached all-time highs yet could be such examples. XRP did in the last cycle, I'm sorry. That's your big bull market from the last run. It went down and made this lower high. Everything is getting taller. No, XRP is not doing anything. We kept waiting, but it never came down the ABC. So this is what we're thinking about as a possible outcome. A lot of other coins, called blue chips, have been around the block in their first cycles, making that huge, impulsive move that they've seen all the way through 2021. Then they rolled over, and they're not necessarily coming up the stairs this cycle, but they will in the next, just like XRP is doing this cycle. Yeah, I know it's hard to understand, but this is crypto. This is what it does. It has your pants down. Some people held on to one coin thinking, okay, I'm waiting for the vertical, and everything for them to go in vertical. But when it didn't happen, it rolled over, and they gave up and sold. This is what a lot of people did with XRP. Yes, I told you that this move, this pullback, is part of a bigger cycle that will lead to the next cycle for Bitcoin. This is for people who have been watching the show for a long time. I believe it is a remedial stage of a bull market. That's why I'm not selling. I'm buying and building up. I believe we will have this big move, and we do have that move, and we've come up. We've hit all-time highs, and things have gone really well for XRP. But this will end at some point. When it does, I'll try to find the buy zones again for you, all right? In the next round. From what I can tell, there may be some agreement in a number of charts that we are moving into Q4 in some form of blow-off top. Okay. Ethereum is one of those important charts I'm looking at right now. I've thought about this with you for a very long time. I believe that this is a very good picture for me from the last cycle. This coin and idea are both very good. It's very big. It seems to be second only to Bitcoin, right? That's where your resistance points were when the last cycle broke out. We'll see you later in that big sudden move that lasted just there. Okay. After that, you did this awful extended flat correction. Then you've run into the same pushback. I believe that the reaction showed that that was the real top of your range. Okay. And not this. It's a trap. In short, you roll in